giving up a big lead and briefly giving up the lead. Oh no, they didn't give up the lead, but the Chicago Bulls take care of business against the Orlando Magic, winning a game that allowed the Orlando Magic to march back, knocking down a 21-point lead down to 6 at one point to the Chicago Bulls. They did so with a balanced effort from our big three, and also Patrick Williams stepping up big in the fourth quarter for the Chicago Bulls as well. We're going to talk about it, break down the win right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
The Bulls end up going 500 over the course of this week, 2-2. They finished this week off with a win over the Orlando Magic. This is a game that saw DeMar DeRozan score 32 points and Zach LaVine also scoring 32 points. DeMar DeRozan was 5 of 5 from three-point line. Nikola Vucevic also chips in 26 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks in this win. Patrick Williams stepping up big in the fourth quarter for the Chicago Bulls, scoring 8 points in the fourth quarter out of his overall 16 points with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block as well from Patrick Williams. The Bulls also get 21 points off the bench, 7 from Dragic, 7 from Alex Caruso, 5 from Derrick Jones Jr. And then also the Orlando Magic. The bench is what kept them in this game. 21 points from Cole Anthony and 27 points from Mo Wagner as they just step up big time and really carry that team. 68 points from the bench from the Orlando Magic, but the Bulls still hold on and get the victory. The Bulls doing the things that we know the Bulls need to do to win these games. They won the rebounding battle, only by 2, but they won the rebounding battle. We want to see them as close to 30 assists as possible. They got 30 assists on 48 made baskets. They also kept the turnovers down in the second half of the game, only having 4 total turnovers in the second half to the Chicago Bulls. They finished with 12 overall in this game and tie that battle with the Orlando Magic. This was a game in which the Bulls usually would have lost this game. And while they did still win by almost 20 points, they end up winning the game by 19 points. This was still a game in which the Bulls almost let this one slip away. Now, the Orlando Magic came marching back. It seemed like the Bulls didn't know how to really react at certain points in time, but the Bulls hold on. They go on a huge scoring run at the end of the game to just seal that victory, and that's what we need to see from this team. The defense from the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams and Derrick Jones Jr. did such a good job on Paolo in this game. He was 3 of 14 in this game. This was a game in which I thought he was going to cook the Chicago Bulls. I was completely wrong. The only Orlando Magic starter to score in double digits was Wendell Carter. He goes 4 of 8 from the field, only 5 rebounds. The Orlando Magic, a better rebounding team than the Chicago Bulls on the season, do not have a single player in double-digit rebounds in this game, and that is where the Bulls were able to get out in transition, do the things that they needed to do to win games. It was fun to see the Bulls have this type of game, to just come out and everybody execute and have their role in this game. Kobe White, extremely cold from the floor. He didn't hit a single shot, but he did some things as well. Rebounding, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. He was just active. The shot was not falling for him at all. That's going to be the thing that I think is keeping him from getting a big payday this offseason, because while he has grown as a defender, those shooting splits are in the damn toilet. But good to have Goran Dragic in this game as well. He goes 2 of 5 from the three-point line, but both of those threes were very well needed for the Chicago Bulls. Overall, the Bulls play a solid game, take care of business against the Orlando Magic in a way that we needed to see this team take care of business. They end the week with a win, thank God. I think the fan base and the team needed that win. And then overall, this team goes into next week. 3 games on the docket next week for the Chicago Bulls. They face the Clippers, the Hornets again, and the Portland Trail Blazers. So we'll see what the Bulls can do in those games. Can they win that week? Didn't win the week this week. They end up tying it. They still stay where they were coming into this week and still below 500, but we'll see if they can eventually make their move. Again, we'll see how hopeful, how that pays into this for the Chicago Bulls, but it was good to see this team get a win. It was needed, and that's just what it boils down to. And the way that they got the win left a lot more faith in this team. They're 23-26 right now on the season, 3 games below 500. We'll see how close they can get to 500 at the end of the week. You don't get to see Petty Roosevelt tonight because Petty was ready to go for you guys. I was ready to go. Petty Roosevelt was going to make an appearance, and a fire one at that. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. We gonna go ahead. We gonna put it back on. We gonna put it back on. We gonna put the cap back on today. Today, I'm going to put the cap back on for the Chicago Bulls. I almost look like my background. I'm matching the theme there. But the bipolar Chicago Bulls continue again. All right, that's enough of me yapping. Let's get into you guys' comments. Jihad Dean in the building says, good game, Bulls. Absolutely. Kiernan says, insane efficiency from DeMar tonight. He's playing a lot smarter recently. Yeah, playing a lot smart, not allowing the offense to slow down, moving the ball well. He caught a couple people on passes on this one. But again, the whole team was moving the ball around very well. DeMar having 8 assists in this game to go with his 2 rebounds and 1 block. DeMar was getting active as well in this game, and it was needed. It was needed. PBN Pat says 68 points, bench points is crazy. Without that, this game is a blowout. Absolutely, for sure. One above all says a win. We needed a win. A win is a win is a win, right? Simba in the building. It's a miracle. I wouldn't say it's a miracle. This is how we should play every game and let everybody else go off and let tomorrow get his in the 4th. Did you mean DeMar get his in the 4th? DeMar was on something tonight. Listen, 5 threes from DeMar DeRozan is wild. But I tell you this, you see the importance of being able to have somebody at the small forward position that can hit 3-pointers. You see how open that court was? It allowed Vooch to get to work. It allowed more cutting. And shout out to the Bulls players also moving without the ball. Ball movement, player movement. That's how the Bulls offense can find success. DeMar DeRozan has to be a playmaker for the majority of the game until it's time for him to take over. Agree with you there, Shay. Definitely agree with you there. Goonie FN says, no way the game I don't watch, they blow them out. Well, it wasn't. The ending score is a little bit misleading. It was really close in there in the 4th quarter, but the Bulls just went on a tear to end that game to completely separate that out. You have every right to feel that way. We know that this team can do, yet they consistently shit the bed. Absolutely right there, brother. I told you, Haize, bipolar Bulls Nation, bro. One more win before the breakdown again. No, I mean, let's hope they can get 3 wins, right? It's been like three game winning streaks, then a breakdown. Let's hope we can get 3 in. Every time Billy takes out Pat, the other team goes on a run, but when he's on the court, they play better. Listen, and getting Patrick Williams involved and keeping him involved. That's what this team did, and right? That's what I say when people are like, oh, well, every player doesn't get plays called for them. You saw Patrick Williams in this game. He got a couple of plays called for him, and then he was active. Got a couple more plays called for him in the second half, then was active. That's what you need to do to keep Patrick Williams involved in the game. And when you have him and Vooch both going, hey, man, that's a fun team to watch. Okay, one good. Now do it again. Exactly. Now I need you to do it again. Bipolar team, definitely, Evan. Yeah, this team is definitely a bipolar team. Refs were straight trash. Again, some went our way at least. Yeah, more went our way than in some of the games where the refereeing and officiating is completely garbage. Laxus Garcia in the building says, it looks like one-sided game due to the final score, but clearly not. Oh, I thought we gonna blew it again. Oh man, I really when they got that lead down to single digits, I was like, here we go. And then the Bulls turned it on. Zach LaVine hitting some big baskets, some good momentum baskets as well. P. Will hitting a couple of clutch threes. DeMar hitting threes. Yeah. Definitely the Bulls did not have the 4th quarter breakdown like it seemed like they were going to have. My stress level was up all second half, as it should be. When the Bulls allow for 35 points in the 3rd quarter, 34 points in the 3rd quarter, you got to start worrying. But luckily, the Bulls scored more, and they kept it moving. Melvin says, regardless of whether the Bulls hold on to win, they've shown their ass already by letting Orlando get back to this point. We still need change. LaVine took dumb shots again, but some of those dumb shots went in. And I get it, Melvin, you are one of the more pessimistic people, and I understand it. The Bulls team earned that from you with their play this season, so I'm not at all shitting on you being pessimistic with this team. But at the end of the day, the NBA is a game of runs. This is the same Orlando Magic team that beat the Boston Celtics. So yeah, the Bulls did let them back in the game, but the Magic have been a scrappy team, and they're a team we just don't match up well against. But the Bulls took care of business. That's what's important. Pat Will showing he can be special. Yes, and we've seen what P. Will can do when he actually plays well. You're really not wearing Bulls merch. I put on the hat. They earned it. They earned me to wear the hat. Cardiac Bulls until the last few minutes. Collective sigh of relief. Absolutely. Actually saw Kawhi flash from people tonight. He just got to keep that up. Well, and also it's on the coaching staff as well to keep up getting him involved in the game, especially when he's playing well. And shout out to Billy Donovan keeping him in the fourth quarter. We've seen so many games in which P. Will has looked good, in which he's not on the court in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Billy Donovan for actually keeping P. Will in the fourth quarter. And I will say this, because I shit on him a lot, and I got to admit when he does something right. Billy Donovan used his timeouts well in the second half of this game. When the Orlando Magic went on certain runs, he actually used his timeouts well. He did. I wish he would have challenged. There was a play that I thought he was going to challenge, but he didn't. But then on the replay, it looked like he wouldn't have won the challenge anyway. But I do like what I saw from Billy Donovan and him using his timeouts pretty well today. The NBA should drug test DeMar. Hey, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Pat was showing a lot of emotion this game. After the dunk, he was stretching his arm out. After a three, he put his arms up. And at the end of the game, he was clapping. Listen, building confidence. One step at a time. That's what we need from P. Will. And we definitely got it this game. Definitely got it this game from P. Will. I thought we was finna choke again first. Oh, absolutely. I think every Bulls fan felt that same way. The Bulls are going to do it to us again. But let's talk about how Pat had a great bounce back game. Looking great seeing this from him. Well, let's not forget, he had a pretty good game in the last game. Not defensively, but shooting the ball, he had a pretty good game in the last game. The Bulls just sucked overall. But yeah, shout out to P. Will for having a solid game, helping us close this team out, being a big part of why we were able to put this team away. Finally, P. Will closing lineup. I know Magic taller team, but hopefully it continues. Still no Andre Drummond in this matchup. I thought we would see him, especially at certain points when Derrick Jones Jr. looked like he may have gotten injured. I was hoping we were going to see Andre Drummond, but listen, the Bulls got the win. I don't want to react to this win, LOL. We won and we should have done this 2 games ago. That's from Lee Education. James, you already know. I don't disagree with you, brother. I didn't watch the game as I said I wouldn't. They won. Look at that. From Damien. I don't care how good the team did today. We should trade Zach and DeMar DeRozan for first-round draft picks. No easy jumps. That's stupid. And it's not going to happen. Like, I get it. You are one of the biggest people on the channel who pick a narrative and stick with it. And I admire you sticking with that. But it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Bulls are absolutely a team that never add to a parlay, laughing my ass off. Oh, for sure. Either for good reasons or bad reasons. Usually if the bench scores 6 to 8 points, that would be when, in most cases, yeah, but not when your starters combined for less than your bench players. Like, that was crazy. That's just crazy to see. That's crazy to see. So glad Dragic came in and stabilized us in the start of the fourth with shooting, player movement, and overall good point guard team play. But the Bulls moved the ball well overall in this game for sure. And Dragic definitely plays a part in that as well. Definitely plays a part. Shay, this is for all. Oh, here you go, Shay. Shay's so focused on proving people wrong. How about P. Will with a little swagger after the dunk on Ben Carroll? I don't think I've ever seen him leave his hand up like that. He's definitely playing with more confidence. From flip side 23, agree with you. And that's what you need from P. Will. A confident P. Will is a dangerous player. It's just, it is. And so hopefully that this is a step in the right direction of him starting to play a little bit better, more consistently, starting to play with a little bit more confidence. And if he continues to do that, it's going to really help this Bulls team out a lot on both sides of the ball. At least they stop a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, at least we didn't make it 3, right? Now these MFers know how to play. I'm so tired of these hoes. That's one thing with this Bulls, and we know they can. But they just need to do it consistently. Shrey in the building says, I really want to know why Billy doesn't play Drummond. Well, Drummond has not played the best down the stretch, but in a game like this where we needed some size, I would have really liked to see Drummond for sure. Brian Washington, Kobe is a scorer, and when he realized that he's not just a three-point shooter and hit the jump shots coming off screens, he could be the player we drafted him to be, but it's also up to Billy. I couldn't have said that any better myself, Brian, for sure. And shout out to Kobe for now being a player that does have an impact on the game even when his shot isn't falling. For the most part of his career, we haven't been able to say that. If Kobe's shot wasn't falling, he wasn't giving the Bulls very much. But now, with him finding a way to impact the game, even when he's not scoring, if that shot starts falling for him, he's going to be just that much more of a positive player for the Chicago Bulls. Haize, I'm going out on the limb and say that if we make the playoffs, you're going to see a much better offensive showing from Kobe White. I mean, hey, shout out to you for having that confidence. It's not a lot of players that can just turn it on in the playoffs. Castilla says DeMar DeRozan might have the potential to be a 3-level scorer. Bulls have to focus on efficient offense. They get too nervous when the opponent figures out some of their schemes. Oh, for sure. But that's also up to coaching, right? You have to adjust. When the team adjusts to your schemes and figures you out, the coaching staff has to come up with a different game plan. Our coaching staff hasn't done that consistently. They've done it in some games. Let's start seeing it be very consistent for this team. Glad we won, but I've been saying this for a while now. We need a new coach, but that's not going to happen, sadly. I'm glad you said that and then ended it with the realistic realization that it's probably not going to happen. But I understand where you're coming from with that. Drummond better not get traded, bro. We literally need size. Ghost, we're not using it. Why have somebody? You can say that we need it all day, but if Billy Donovan's not going to play him, you might as well move it for a piece that Billy Donovan's going to use. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that we don't need size, but this is the game in which the last 2 games, matter of fact, are games in which we needed size. And Billy Donovan has not gone to Andre Drummond. So to me, if I'm the GM and I'm looking at it, yeah, we need size. But if you're not going to play the player that I brought you that has some size, I'm going to look at that asset in that $3 million contract and say, all right, let's see if I can get a player Billy is going to use. It's just smart at that point. So y'all still want to trade Pat Will? Some people still do. Nah, Jumps, that's just a bad idea. And I was about to get offensive with you, but I'm not even going to go there because you're just like, if that's what you want to take it as, that's what you want to take it as. But I'm sorry, that's an idiotic thing to say. That was a dumb trade. That's stupid. And if you feel a way about it, if that makes me a fanboy, so be it. Now, if you come and get any more disrespectful, I avoided Petty Roosevelt coming for you now. Get more stupid and say anything else crazier than what you just said. I'll give you that. You got that one. Say something else. That's all I can say to you on that. Funny how most of us thought that they would win the Pacers game and lose this one, and the opposite happened this team, man. Absolutely. I'll be killing me inside with those open misses, man. Yeah, it does kill me on that too. Finna be taking that hat back off by the next. Oh, probably. Wouldn't even be surprised if I throw it again. So Bulls answered the call. I thought they'd falter in the 4th, but they battled back. Love P. Will's extra aggressiveness and those gestures after scoring. Let's go. Yeah, love seeing that from P. Will. Love seeing that. Gunther with over 70 minutes in the Royal Rumble. Make sure you guys tell me who wins the Royal Rumble in the chat, especially because I'll probably still be here when it's over with. P. Will showed up big time. Favorite moment when he stole the ball, brought it down, crossed Ben Carroll, and dunked and showed attitude, only to get instantly subbed by Billy. Well, yeah, but he was in the game in crunch time, so. I'm happy about the win, but I'm not happy. We need to see more from this team. They're so talented. Listen, they got the win, and they got the win after letting the team battle back. I get it. We need to see more, but listen, they played well. DeMar should take threes every game. He makes long twos anyway, and like you said, it opens the floor. Yeah, I mean, it's funny too that he said before that he can take threes. He said that. I don't know if I believe it. No, Haize, leave the cap off till they win a few more straight or get over 500 one game. Should not get their ass out the doghouse. They always do this to us. 2 ugly losses, then play good. Well, keep in mind too, though, if we're being realistic, right? The Bulls are 4-2 in their last 6 games. I mean, and they're now 12-8 in their last 20. Like, that's a pretty good stretch, right? I know the 2 losses that they had back-to-back suck, and they shouldn't have lost both those games. But let's put it in perspective. Let's not act like it's just one win, right? It is just one win in this streak, and we need to see them play like this more often. But the Bulls quietly have been playing better. To go 12-18 in the last 20, solid. To go 4-6 in the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 4-2 in their last 6 over the last 2 weeks. That's not bad. We just need to see them put that stretch over the course of more time. Yo, Haize, Bulls win, but KC said on pregame, expect roster changes over the next week or two. When Vern, you like saying what KC and people said. Please go and read that whole article from Casey Johnson, not just the highlights. He didn't necessarily say expect it. So I don't know if 1 or 2 deals are coming, but even if they do, they're not going to be major deals. GG Haize, the Bulls only need confidence, but not too confident. P. Will is a shooter. He just needs to learn to rebound offensively and post up. Well, keep in mind, it's not the Bulls' scheme to rebound offensively. The Bulls all run back down after a shot goes up. They usually keep one player, the center, in there to maybe get a lucky offensive rebound. The Bulls don't try to get offensive rebounds as a team. So that's a scheme thing. And post up, is posting up really P-Will's game? I want to see him do it against smaller players, but I don't know about that, if that's going to be a consistent part of his game. JQ Chicago in the building says, what up, Mr. Haize? Don't call me Mr. That's my pops. Bulls still trash on feeling the urgency to get offensive rebounds. Still really not very impressed with their bad habits or lack of basic winning habits. Playing, here we come. Well, keep in mind, like I just said, it's you can tell that that's a scheme thing. Billy Donovan's part of his defensive scheme is to get back on defense and don't try for offensive rebounds. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying when you watch the game, you just notice that that's part of the scheme that they run. That's just how the Bulls operate. I love Debo, but I really think we trade Debo and the team will be a lot better. Just need to add another player to shoot and play defense. I feel Zach and Vooch will pick up Debo's points with the help of Pat. Well, I won't necessarily say that they're better. They'll be a better team. I do think that the offense would be a little bit more free. But DeMar can be a passer in the scheme of the offense. Look at what he did in San Antonio. I put that on coaching because we've seen what DeMar can do. And while Billy Donovan is not nearly the coach that Greg Popovich is, I'm just saying that a coach that demands respect from his teams is going to make sure everybody moves without the ball and moves the ball around, I should say, as well. Lonzo News guarantees that he's out for the whole season. He has the offseason to recover. If he still's out, it's going to be a huge problem, and I honestly think his career is in huge jeopardy. Hey, listen, Windy City Vids, I can't blame me for feeling like that. Can't blame me for feeling like that. Haize, I really like playing Dragic a lot in the fourth. We need a veteran presence in tight games. Yeah, he's going to make sure everybody gets the ball, especially when you have him and Vooch out there. That's two players that's going to make sure that the correct player gets the ball as long as players are moving without the ball. Ball movement, player movement. Absolutely. I'm a bad person for wanting DJJ to be hurt for 2 games for some Dalen Terry minutes. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, that's wrong to want somebody to be hurt. But even then, I still don't think that they'd play Dalen Terry. I still don't think that they would. We got to do a victory shot at some point as well. Ricky Fontaine, my brother in the building, says, wait, trade DeMar and Zach, but Billy is a good coach. You have now entered the twilight zone. My auntie Goon, who had 2 voicemails on today's episode that were both fire. I listen, when Goon goes off, we get wins. That's all I can say. Our big 3 need to play like this every night. What's wrong with they bipolar ass? Come on, Bulls. Y'all ass be tripping. Gotta love Goon. Gotta love Goon. You gotta roast Jalen Suggs, LeBron. Bro, it's not as bad as LeBron's, but it's gonna be there for sure. And he's much younger than LeBron when he started going ball. Like that's crazy. Imagine to be 21 years old and to have that hairline. What type of demons are you dealing with? What type of evil have you done in your life to where God decided, I'm about to take your hair at only 21 years old? Like what? Just imagine the type of shit that goes on in that head that his hair is like, yeah, man, I'm gonna head out. Like, that's wild, bro. That's tough. That's tough to be in that situation, man. For literally you to have so much evilness going on in that head of yours that your hair is like, yeah, it's time for me to head out, fam. Like, look at that. That's bad, man. That motherfucker gonna have a half horseshoe on top of his head real soon. That's bad, man. That's just terrible. That's terrible. Every game this season is a must-win game. I really hope we can get on a streak of wins more than 3. I mean, it's tough. Those are rare in the NBA overall. Like, the games over 3-game winning streaks, especially if you're not an elite team. But if the Bulls can put just one, if they can put a 5-game winning streak together, for example, and then not go on like a 3-game losing streak to immediately follow it, not to say like that would drastically change their standings right now. You can't play Drummond because Bulls are always in foul trouble around 5 or 7 minute mark. That's when Vooch gets his breath and you hack a Drummond till Billy takes him out. Well, we haven't seen hack a Drummond because he haven't been in, but no, you can still play. Like, that's still to say you can't play Drummond because of that. There are 48 minutes in a basketball game. You can play Drummond. Even if they're in the foul trouble, then play him earlier. Vooch doesn't play the whole first quarter, then you can absolutely work Drummond in the lineup. That's silly to say that you can't work Drummond in the lineup. You can work Drummond in the lineup. I feel like when the pressure's on P. Will, he tends to shy away. I think for him to really unlock his true potential, the Bulls have to be at the bottom with no expectations. No, that's false. You just have to have a coach that literally is going to run things for him, that is going to say, you get 3 stretches a game or 2. We're going to run 3 plays for you at the middle of the first quarter. We're going to run 3 plays for you at the beginning of the third quarter. How you doing that depends on how many other plays I'm going to call for you. Reggie, how about you stop being a fucking dumbass, a loser, and shut the fuck up, because there has been consistent winning. I just said 11 out of your last 20 is consistent. 4 out of your last 6 is consistent. Reggie, I'm sorry that your mama doesn't love you and you come here looking for attention by saying negative shit like dumbass people on the internet because they know negativity is going to get noticed, and stop being a dumb fuck. Because no, the Bulls have been technically winning consistently here over the last month. They just need to do it at a higher level and not go on these 3-game losing streaks. Reggie just got out of timeout on the channel. He's going to be put back in real quick. Did you see the tweet Shaq said about KD hairline? I did not, but Shaq really ain't got much room to talk for real. I feel like Dre gets DNP because Billy has personal beef against him. A lot of people feel like that, but I mean, really, he has not been playing well. He just hasn't. Like, in his minutes that he has played, he hasn't played well. But I will say this, we do have matchups in which, listen, even if he does get into foul trouble, we need to see him some. So, I mean, ultimately it's up to the coach, but I'd say despite how he plays or not, like, he needs to, we'll see. I do think that there is something to be said about the thing that the idea that they may trade Drummond or he may get bought out, but we'll see what happens with that. Reggie, you need to use that same energy to turn his life around. Listen, Reggie's a lost cause, bro. He's a lost cause. Haize, even though it's a scheme thing, players still need to realize to chase down shots. If you're losing a lead and trying to take the lead, we all know we can't count on Billy to implement that. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. You can't count on players to play outside the system, and then maybe, especially if they do get blown by on defense, they be the reason why. So I do think players need to follow up the shots more. That's just simple basketball. And we'll see what happens in that case. But, Shaq looked like Thanos on TV. That is hilarious. Dad said it. I told you by at least 10 points. Dad said it, and so let it be true. That was probably the first time that Vooch outplayed Wendell since they were traded for each other. You're probably not wrong, brother. You are probably not wrong in a case like that. I feel like you are absolutely spot on because, Wendell has seen the Bulls, even in games that they've lost against us. He sees the Bulls and he's just like, I'm about to go for 30. Who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop me from going for 30? Reginald Short in the building says, when the Bulls were up 17-18 in the third, I was hoping Tony, Marco, and Terry would show up in the fourth, but the Bulls did Bulls things. Yeah. I mean, listen, they got the win. That's all that matters. Wow, Travis going in. That's deep. I'm not even going to read that out loud because if I say that word, I think YouTube's going to knock me. But yeah. Dragic to end the game is the way to go. Need a savvy veteran to get the game to finish line and take the ball from Zach and his late game turnovers. Well, keep in mind that was the idea behind bringing DeMar and Lonzo to this team, and Vooch to degrees. You had three players that could handle the ball and go through, and things could go through them, and you can allow Zach to come off screens, which he's dangerous at. So, I don't fight that back on that at all. Zach is turnover prone, especially in close games in the fourth quarter. You have a veteran point guard out there who knows how to distribute the ball, knows how to get everybody involved, and you use him to their strength. That's not to say that Zach shouldn't be out there. It just means that you don't want to have to bet on him and rely on him to be a ball handler. And listen, you got to do what you got to do. It's sad we're complimenting our coach for properly using his timeouts. Right? That's crazy, right? But I mean, you got to acknowledge it because he doesn't always do it. We actually missed Dragic in those two losses. That's a really good point for a couple of different reasons, right? Because not only is his playmaking ability, but also his ability to hit shots, right? While he didn't shoot the ball the best today, and it's to be expected when you've been gone for that long, but Dragic's ability to hit shots and not hesitate to shoot them, I think also opens the floor up some. So absolutely agree with you on that one, brother. Great point out. Great call out on that one. Brandon L. Jet says, what up, people? How did our bullshitters do? They won. That's what they won. Haize, Zoe injuries are due to him having skinny legs. No, I don't think that. Like, that wouldn't be an ace. Like, if it was a muscle thing or bone thing, I would maybe say that, but it's not that. Like, these are all ligaments. So no, I wouldn't. I don't think that that's the case in that one. But I'm not a doctor. A doctor could look at that and be like, yeah, Haize, you're stupid. And I'd be like, hey, listen, you're a doctor. I'm stupid then. Easy Jump says, can Lonzo play shooting guard? I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but you don't want to necessarily allow him to, right? Not heavily. I think he was the two. I think when him and Caruso used to be out there, I think he was the two. But it doesn't matter. You just have a bunch of players out there that can move with and without the ball. Lonzo always skip leg day. That's stupid. Y'all leave Lonzo alone, man. Zach LaVine doctor says it is in fact the skinny legs. All right, well, I gotta shut the hell up. I'm dumb. Zach LaVine doctor said it, so it is so. Whoa, what is that? All right, let's fix that. Bam. All right. The kid says Kuzma or AD at the 4 and Pat back at the 3. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Hey, sorry, but Hackett Drummond is real and he shrinks the floor, which can make it harder for DeMar. Yeah, but we haven't seen it here. That has not been the problem here. Nobody said Hackett Drummond isn't real. Like sometimes, Big T, I love you, bro, and I love that you're always here supporting. But sometimes it feels like you look at like historical things and you say them just to make a point rather than look at how it affects this team. And so Hackett Drummond on this team hasn't been a thing. And actually, Drummond's hitting his free throws, I think, at one of the best clips of his career so far this season. Let me check that to make sure. Let me make sure. I want to make sure. He's hitting it at a 53%, which his career percentage is 47%. So listen, Hackett Drummond, I get it. I get the fear there. But again, the Bulls already played close to a point where Hackett Drummond really isn't a thing, and the ball isn't in his hands a lot for him to Hackett Drummond be a thing. He does get rebounds, and they will try to foul him then. But I'm not worried about the Hackett Drummond on this team because it just hasn't been a thing for this season on this team. Hey, it's off topic, but does Eagles Bengals Super Bowl sound? Listen, Eagles I don't care. It's none of them on my team. I just want to see a good game. I don't care who it is. My grandma's a Kansas City fan, so I'm going to root for Kansas City just off the strength of that. But we'll see. Yeah, matter of fact, Andre Drummond is only averaging 1.7 free throws a game for the Chicago Bulls. I'm not worried about Hackett Drummond on this team. Hey, Zoe's injury is scary. Let me say worst case, worse, and Zoe never return to play. What PG do you think we should go after? I don't know. I'd have to sit down and really go after that. But that would be determined by a couple of different things. So I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you off the top of my head, but I don't know. How many trees do you think trees get cut down to produce the amount of gum Billy chews in a season? That's hilarious. For those people who say trade Dre, remember that we play against Minnesota, Milwaukee, Cleveland, and other longs. But that's the thing, Reg. I don't think none of us forget that. I think Billy Donovan doesn't care. Like that's the biggest thing. Yeah, we can say all day that we're going to play against long teams, but unless Billy Donovan's going to play them, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, that is another thing too. If they do hack them without the ball, it's not a tech, but you do get the free throw and the possession. So they're trying to cut down on that as well. If we don't sell any players, we need to get two backup centers. No, we don't need two backup centers. They're always trying to trade DeMar in these chats. However, he's the producer. He is a producer on the team. Good win. Now let's string a few together. Oh, yeah. Play of the game. P. Will with the steal and Shake of Paolo with the slam. Absolutely. That was a great play to see. Hey, Haize, if Shy had the option of getting Seth Curry, would you want him and for who? No, I'm good on Seth. I mean, don't get me wrong. Theoretically, he brings a lot. But like for real, how the fuck Billy jaw stay strong enough to chew the same piece of? I don't think he chews the same piece. I think Billy, when we don't see him, I think he keeps a Sam's Club bag of Hubba Bubba at the bench, and when we don't see him, he just popping new gum. What do you think about DeMar's 5 of 5? He should take more threes. Well, keep in mind, DeMar's he was in rhythm today, and your NBA players, they can get in rhythm, but I don't think you necessarily want DeMar to do a lot of 3-point shooting. But when he's confident and he's taking them and they're open, I do think that DeMar should take more open threes, because there are times where DeMar does have the ball open at the 3-point line, and he does his little shake, his 18 dribbles and 14 pump fakes, and sometimes by the end of that, he's in the mid range. But I do think he should take the open threes a lot more. Bulls play the Clippers next, and this will be a test to see if the Bulls are trying to get in a hot streak. Yeah, I mean, how they play in that game is going to be important. And they get a day of rest with 2 days off. When is that? When is the game against Clippers? It's not Monday. The Bulls aren't back Monday, are they? It's Tuesday. So the Bulls get 2 full days off. Sunday and Monday. They need to come out and play tough. They don't have any back-to-backs next week. They play Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Every other day. That needs to be a team that's well rested, and then they come out of next week and they have a back-to-back against San Antonio and Memphis. So yeah, we need to see a well rested Bulls team. No, Billy is definitely a spearmint winter fresh guy. That's hilarious. Easy jumps. I love seeing Pat dunk on people. Next year he would be better, and then by 2 years from now he'll be a 2-way 3-level scorer. Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, fam. You can tell by his rebound numbers over the past few games, P. Will is starting to get really active. Good sign on both ends, moving forward for the Bulls. Yeah, and he's slashing. If Pete Will moves without the ball more, even if he's not the most confident shooting, which he's confident in the 3-point shot. Pete Will, if he doesn't have confidence from anywhere else on the court, that 3-point shot he is confident in. But if he cuts to the basket, Vooch or DeMar are usually going to find him. And I like how they're finding him also on the pick and pop some. They need to use P. Will in that. Utilize him there is going to be pretty solid. Clippers been on fire lately. Super tough. We don't match up well with them. I wouldn't say that. I think we actually match up pretty well against the Clippers. The Clippers to me are a very similar team as far as like matchup wise as the Boston Celtics. I'm not worried about Trey Mance. I'm not worried about him. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, again, 2 solid players. Marcus Morris, he's probably not going to be playing. You're probably going to see Nicholas Batum there. But I think the Bulls can match up well against the Clippers. I'm not saying that I'm favored in them at all. But if the Bulls come in and play with that defensive intensity that we've seen, I think the Bulls can match up pretty well against them. I think it's also a game in which we need to see Drummond in some. Hey, that game will be the one they win against the Clippers. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. COD says, hopefully a long winning streak is in the Bulls' future. Man, listen, I think we all hope for that. I don't know how realistic it is, but I think we all hope that that's going to be the case for the Bulls. I would love to see the Bulls go on a long winning streak. I don't think I've seen a Will and Vooch pick and roll not result in a bucket for the Bulls. They got to utilize that more often. You know what's a good thing with that? It's not even the reason why a Vooch pick and roll, a Vooch P. Will pick and roll works so well is because they both can shoot, they both can pass. P. Will can put it on the floor way better than Vooch can. And then when P. Will is actually moving aggressively and with intention, could be a dangerous weapon for the Chicago Bulls. Correct me if I'm wrong, but will the next game be the first game P. Will faces off against Kawhi? Why do I feel like they faced off P. Will's rookie season? I could be wrong on that. I'm taking a look now. Let's see if I can find up any head-to-head matchups. So no, they played against each other twice. This was back in early 2021. They played against each other twice. And it looks like against Kawhi Leonard against Patrick Williams in only 2 games, that would have been Patrick Williams' rookie season, but he averages 34 points, 4 rebounds, and 3.5 assists against Patrick Williams. That's tough. But he was a rookie. That was rookie Patrick Williams. So that was a completely, that's a stat line, though. That's tough. Cachet says, we should be getting this 3-piece. The Bulls been playing in a pattern. Listen, you're not wrong. Do you think it's okay for Dalen Terry's development to be on the bench so much, or do you believe we have to give him some minutes? Well, Jan, I talk about this a lot. So part of P. Will's development plan is the G League. And the reason why I say that it is part of it is because everything goes through him in the G League. He's able to work on his ball handling, his playmaking, his shooting, his rebounding, because he is the focal point when he's down there in the G League. Even if he did get minutes here, he wouldn't be the focal point. I always compare it to Anthony Simons. That's exactly what the Portland Trailblazers did Anthony Simons' rookie year. So far, rookie year, it matches up that is his development. You can develop down in the G League as far as refining some of the skills that you have. But unlike Marko Simonovic, let's hope Dalen Terry is actually in the rotation next season, because we need to see that. Vern says, Kawhi is just DeMar with the ring, does all his work from the mid-range, but it's different. Kawhi is also a two-way player, so it's more than DeMar. That is why we saw the Toronto Raptors be able to get to the finals when DeMar got placed with Kawhi, because he's a two-way player. Having a two-way player that's also not as reluctant to shoot the three-point shot, it really does change your offense. Man, that was fun to watch, except for the start of the fourth. I was at the game tonight. I got Adam's signature too. Shout out, Kobe. Shout out to you being at the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the Bulls undefeated when you go to games? Am I remembering that correctly? I feel like every time you say you go to the game, it's been a win. No, we did lose one game. We did lose one game where you went, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You'll know better than me. The kid says, I just got to ask, Haize, what are your real expectations out of this team? The ceiling is play in or first round exit. Why are people content with standing pat with this shit, man? Because again, nothing positive. Good teams and teams that become great don't just blow it all up just because you're a first round exit. You build upon it. You have to build upon it. So the idea of just blowing it all up, that doesn't make us any better. That's not going to make us any better in the short or long term. So just because, yes, our ceiling is a first-round exit at the most, I feel, unless this team plays better, considerably better for a longer stretch of time. But that still isn't nobody. I don't think anybody's saying stand pat. I'm just saying blowing it up isn't the answer. And I don't think anybody thinks that, oh, we just got to stay the course with this team plus Lonzo, a healthy Lonzo, and we're good. I don't think many people think that. There probably are some, but I don't think many people think that. JDH in the building says, I'm not excited or impressed by this win. String some good wins together. No more bad losses. Let's go. Hey, listen, I understand you feeling that way. Super chat from the lower labs. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. I'm tired of the Bulls struggling to close bad teams out. Hey, listen, I'm just happy that they closed them out. But I agree with you, right? This should have been a game in which we saw the Bulls be able to put their foot on the team's neck. And they did it in a way, but, the Bulls going to play hard against the Clippers, but result is still up in the air for sure. Ron asked, would you be shocked if Dalen Terry gets traded? Yeah, because the Bulls aren't going to trade him. They're they're not going to trade Dalen Terry before they get a chance to actually see him at the NBA level. They're not. They're not going to trade P. Will either. They're definitely not going to trade Dalen Terry. He said, yeah, okay, I was right. Yes, they are. I've been there twice, and they both were blowouts. That's crazy. I thought so. That's crazy. Reginald Short, how would you rank this Bulls month? I mean, when you go 12-8 over the 20 games, and I don't think that all those games were in January. I mean, that's a solid month. I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's world beater. Like if the Bulls would have came out of this month above 500, I definitely would have ranked it a little bit better. But I mean, they've been doing cool. So they played 13 games in the month of January, and they lost 5 of those games. So they're 8-5 over the month of January so far, with 1 game left to play in January. So they finished out the month of January above 500 for the month. Listen, that's a solid month, but we need more. Do it again, and have an even better point differential as far as wins and losses. Joseph says, right, Haize, you get nothing better back for DeMar and Zach. Face green, smiling. I hate that this thing doesn't show emojis, but yeah, I mean. It's Stacey King's, Oprah, and your birthday tomorrow. Well, shout out to you. Happy early birthday, JQ Chicago. Happy birthday to you, fam. Amin88 says, listen, I'm kind of happy about this win because yesterday Magic only lost to the Heat by 5 points. So I'm happy about the 19-point winner. And keep in mind, they did beat the Boston Celtics a couple games ago as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy that the Bulls get a win overall. I mean, I'm still keeping it in perspective, right? You won against a team you should have won against. All right, cool. Let's do it again. Let's keep doing it. I wouldn't blow it up, but you got to move DeMar so Pat can develop, just my opinion. I think you just need to coach better. Because you can still develop a player even with a ball-dominant player on the team. You just have to coach better. You have to coach with the intent of putting that player in certain situations. So we'll see. I'm not faithful in Billy Donovan's ability to do it, but we'll see. Imagine Stacey as the coach, man. The Bulls fans would go crazy. Listen, Stacey King he's either going to be a coach that players love or players hate. Because if Stacey King talks to his players the way he talks about them on the broadcast, because you just see it. Like Zach, he says it every time. When Zach would come back from a huddle after a bad shot, Stacey King would be looking at him like Zach, what you doing, bro? Like that was a terrible shot. And Zach gets in his light-skinned feelings so often that you worry about that. But Stacey King said he doesn't want to coach, but I do think Stacey King would be a great coach. Definitely think he'd be a great coach. Tell the people what you're talking about on NBA Central tomorrow. What am I talking about on NBA Central tomorrow? Am I missing something? Oh, wait, what are we talking about on NBA Central tomorrow? I forgot. What we got on the docket for tomorrow? Is it a LeBron thing? I forgot, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot. I'm high in a good mood. Great game for DeMar. Perfect time to trade DeMar back to Toronto for OG Anunoby plus whatever the F. Haha. Joking. Unrealistic from AK. Man, listen. I might be wrong, but I didn't see the hand brace on Zach. He shot better. Yeah, he shot much better today. What were those exact shooting splits? Listen, don't get old, people. When they say I may still look fairly young, and I appreciate that. That's because of my mom and dad's DNA. But my eyes, I have to get my prescription changed once every 2 years. Like my eyesight is terrible. Zach 11 for 18 today, 7-7 from free throw line, 3-7 from 3-point line, plus 24, 32 points. So yeah, shout out to Zach. He did shoot the ball much better today. Damn, bro. Hey, Steve-O's supposed to be on, bro. Oh shit, you're right. I'm tripping hard, fam. I am tripping. Yes, Steve-O is supposed to be on tomorrow. Steve-O, who we're literally building up. Steve-O is going to be a big part of all the channels that we do eventually. we sent Steve-O a mic. And he got to get a mic stand. But listen, Steve-O is a star in the making, and I can't wait to have him in here. Haize Haize is just old, bro. Like literally, I have so much shit up in the air. I got 4 different recordings to do tomorrow. 3 of those being for NBA Central. So yeah, I got 3 recordings for NBA Central alone tomorrow. Then I got Chicago Bears Central Sunday live stream we're doing tomorrow. I got to record for Chicago Bulls Central tomorrow. Got to record for Chicago Sky Central tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a jam-packed day for me. So my brain is just mush right now, fam. Too much. Oh, by the way, I didn't do my shot. Salute. Tequila. The 1800. Salute. Bulls win. Cheap tequila is so, man, that's rubbing alcohol. I heard rumors Candace Parker about to sign with the Las Vegas Aces. Yeah, I posted a video on Chicago Sky Central about that already. So, if y'all ain't following NBA Central, you're wrong, and right ain't in you. Yes, make sure we're trying to get the subscribers up over there. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to NBA Central, please. I know it's a new channel, and one thing that I'm realizing, because my other channels like Chicago Bears Central, Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Sky Central, they're all team-specific channels, so it was easy to get in the algorithm for those channels. Doing a general NBA channel, the thing that I'm finding hardest is how to get in the algorithm and crack that. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Check out and subscribe Haize. Subscribe to CEO Haize and them Cognac Boys at NBA Central channel. Brandon L. Jet. I think Brandon L. Jet got the links. He's better at promote. I need to hire Brandon L. Jet just to do my promotion, because he does it in the Facebook group. He does it in real life. I'm terrible at promoting my shows, man. Have you ever wanted to make your own liquor? I've never even thought about that, to be quite honest with you. That'd be litty, though. I'd love to make my own. That'd be crazy. What do you think about the Bulls? Oh, Jamal's amazing. Jamal's the GOAT. What Jamal has been able to build over at Bull Central has been amazing and great to see. And as a fan of the team, it's been great. And he's killing it. That's just what it is. He is killing it over there. You should try making one, Haize. Making one what? Alcohol? I mean, I can make a signature drink, but yeah. I mean, when I used to do my live shows for my other podcast, I did have a signature drink. It was called the Red Bearded Assassin. That motherfucker was strong too. Bull Central. Oh man, listen. We do have two different delivery methods, right? I'm crazy. I give energy. I'm an emotional fan. And Jamal is he just goes through it. He just says his stuff. I don't think I've ever even seen Jamal, even when he says, I'm so frustrated with this Bulls team, he's very even keel. I think me and Jamal will make a great play-by-play team, because I'm so over the top and loud and he's so chill. I think that would be fun. Haize and at Shy Bulls podcast making the Goonies NBA squad. Listen, man, we over here, bro. We making it work. What you think about all-star starters, Debo not being a starter and Zach getting a snub? I don't think it's a snub. Zach LaVine did not play good enough at the start of the season to be an all-star. He's come on lately, and even that hasn't been consistent, but I don't think Zach LaVine's played well enough to be an all-star. And DeMar, if he gets in as a sub, shout out to him. He's been more consistent than Zach for sure, but I wouldn't have been surprised if DeMar didn't even make it. I'm just not. So, It is what it is. You don't always make it, and hopefully that's a wake-up call for Zach LaVine, who, if I'm not mistaken, Zach LaVine's been an all-star the last 2 years, right? This is the first year in the last 2 that he hasn't. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not really surprised with that. To me, Zach has not necessarily played the best to be an all-star this season. And it kind of happens. I mean, we know he came in with the injury to his knee. He ended up hurting his hand. And that's just kind of what it is. But Zach's last 10, he's been balling. 27 points per game, 42% from the field, 36% from three. We need to see that go up. 6 rebounds, 4 assists per game, and over a steal per game for Zach in the last 10. Shout out to Zach. We just need to see him more often and shoot the ball a little bit better. Get that 3-point shooting percentage up. Haize, I've been in and out. Did I miss you doing the voice? I haven't done the voice. I haven't really clowned on anybody. It's been a pretty laid back stream. I knew somebody was going to play about inside Chicago Bulls. You know they do. What are your biggest thoughts about the Bulls' future? Do you think we're in a few years of champion contenders? No, we're too far away for me to be able to say we could be championship contenders. I be at school listening to this motherfucker Haize swear up a storm in my ear and switch to Bull Central. That motherfucker slowly airing out information in my ear. We are two very different individuals, right? Two completely different individuals with two very different ways to cover our team. But we both love this team and we both put in a lot of work. And I can't deny the work that Jamal has put in. And even when he was on my channel and we did the episode together, like he loves his team. And, you know, him being able to do what he did, even having a baby, his wife giving birth to a baby, has been great to see. Shy Bulls, Zach has not been good enough. If we got January Zach for the entire season, he would have been in the All-Star game. Completely agree with that. Haize, you talked about it before. What is the record when DeMar takes 14 to 16 shots? I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't remember how I pulled that up before. I think it was on Candid NBA, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But it is what it is. Haize is a good voice actor. You know what? I did try to get into voice acting at one point. It was before I had like this whole studio set up. It was early in my podcasting career, so it was probably like 8 years ago. And I got one voice acting job, and then I never really pursued it after that. Whoa, he said we still suck ass, which is okay at my local strip club. Not you sucking strippers' asses, JDH? I don't know if that's how COVID started. You sucking the strippers' asses? I don't know if that's okay, bro. I'm highly uncomfortable with now knowing that you suck strippers' asses. That's highly uncomfortable. Like, I'm worried about you now. Like, what's wrong? Is everything okay at home? Do you have your vaccination? Do you get a shot? Like, that's crazy. You're sucking ass at the strip club, JDH? That's what life has come to? That's crazy, bruh. That's wild, bro. Sucking stripper ass is a different level of confidence, bro. I don't even want strippers dancing on me. You sucking stripper ass? That's deep, bro. That's crazy. That's a level of confidence I don't. That's crazy. He says, get off Bull Central. I didn't say anything bad. I've not said anything bad about Bull Central. I rock with Bull Central. We're just very different. I don't have nothing negative to say about Jamal. That's crazy, bro. That's wild, man. JDH, bro, you gotta, bro, JDH, you gotta, we gotta have, where's the therapist? Is there a therapist in the chat? JDH needs y'all immediately. That's deep. JDH is sucking stripper ass. That's crazy. Wow. He says I will and have. Yes. Wow. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, listen. That's crazy, bro.
That's wild, man. That's well, okay. Hey, I guess that's the perfect way to end the stream. I have no way to follow this up, bro. That's wow. That's crazy, man. Bro, that's wild, bro. Yeah, that's it for me for today. I think it's time to go ahead and shut it down, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail for our mailbag episodes on the weekend, which means one's coming up tomorrow, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. Please don't follow in JDH's footsteps. That's all I can say on that one, man. I love you guys, man. See red, go Bulls. Love you guys, man. Peace, y'all.